Hello there in the playlist of coding challenges with probably many less videos. This is the second video of the playlist coding challenges. So in this coding challenge we are going to make rock paper scissors. So I have created a file rcp.c under the folder tutorials for YT. If you have seen the last video, we have created a folder in the home directory as tutorials for YT. You probably will see here floating. So in here I have created a new file rcp.c that resembles rock paper scissors. So and a logic file logic.txt, that means I'll explain you the logic behind my program using this file. So so as in every C file hashtag into stdr.h. According to me, stdr.h is the most used library folder on my laptop. So return 0. So first in order to declare elements, we'll declare three elements: rock, paper and scissor. So let us define hashtag define rock1. This is very boring. Paper 2 SCISSORS scissors 3. So I have created rock, paper and scissors, 3 elements, and I'll declare 2 more elements, player 1 win and player 2 win. So hashtag define p1 win. So it would be equal to 4. I'll copy this and paste it under new line, and I'm sorry. So I'll, instead of p1 I'll just put here p2, and again define, which will tell drop 5 6. So we declared 5 elements here. So the first one was rock, second one was paper, third one was scissors, fourth one was p1 win, fifth one was p2 win, and sixth one was p6. So now you might be wondering why I put this p4 win, p5 win, draw. So I used this because we are going to develop a function which will tell us the winner from, will first pass 2 parameters to it, player 1 and player 2, and it would give us the output whoever won from them. So let us declare the function int who won. So as I said, it will take 2 parameters, so int comma int. This is just an declaration, it is not the real one. So now we are going to print. So what we first want is what you want to enter. So in order to do this, I'll again create a new function. So this function is int get user input. It would receive no parameters, it's just a function. So now I'll write here, first we'll develop the function in get user input. So I'd copy this and just paste it in here. This is a shortcut, you can even use this. So now I'm going to write here. So first we want to tell our user which number belongs to which element. So 1 would be equal to rock, 2 would be equal to paper, 3 would be equal to scissors. This is just I just wanted to write it fast, that's why I wrote it in capital letters, autofill feature. So now get user input. So first we'd use a do while loop this time. So while, so we'll make a condition, we'll make an integer here, int USI means user input. So while condition is, yeah, so while the condition is not equal to, not INP, we'll change this USI to INP. So where until INP is less than equal to 1 and INP is more than equal to 3, I mean less than equal to 3, it will ask us. So print, so to ask the user, we wrote this 1 rock, 2 paper, 3 scissor. So we'll just write it here. So 1. So now first when we'll use this get user input function, it will first print 1 equals rock, 2 equals paper, 3 equals scissor. So now the next thing which we want to type is print, then we'll write here enter the user's choice. So now we are asking the user, our program is asking the user enter user's choice. Now we'll take the input from the keyboard using the scanf function, %d and INP. So now if this condition would come false, it would do this again. So now we'll put an if statement here. So if INP would be not equal to these three numbers, so I'll just write it. So if INP less than 1 and then INP more than 3, then it would just print us, give us the message of an error. So error improper inputs. So now if this condition comes true, means if INP would be less than 1 or more than 3, it would tell us it is improper. So now we'll write here, we'll take the input from the user using a scanf function. Why will I take the input? So first we'll again ask him this thing, just copy it and paste it. You probably might understand this, but if you don't, if you're one of those who don't understand, I'll just explain it. So if it would be not equal to 1, less than 1, 2 or 3 or more than that, then it would give us the prompt that it is improper input. Again it would ask us that enter user's choice, and as our INP is not a constant, we can change it. So it would be scanf, %d and INP. So this condition, this will run until this condition comes true. So now we'll use the return keyword and INP. So now user is inputting nothing here, but this program will give us the output. So to give the output from a function, we use this function return. That's why always in integer main we write a return 0. That means if our things come all right, then it would return us nothing. So now we'll create an int x. X means the input of the user. So x would be equal to get user input. This bracket shows that this is a function. Now in order to check our program, we'll just write printf %d \n and x. Command S. Let us run our program. It is asking us to enter a choice, so I'll write, first I'll give an inaccurate one. So 4, C. Oops, again it's giving us an error. What's the error? So let us try, we'll put this under brackets and before these brackets starting we'll put an exclamation mark which will resemble that this is this should not be true, and we'll put an equal to sign after this crocodile mouth, means that greater than less than sign. So it gave us an error. Let us rerun our program. Now let us first add an inaccurate input. So 4, yeah, it's working all right. So again I have to enter user's choice, so I'll write 1 this time. So it is working all right. So we solved our program. That means we are very lot of brains in our mind. Everybody has brain, we just need to do some practice. So now if you want to see this, if you want to run this to terminal, in the end of the video you will I'll show you how to run this to terminal or command prompt. In Windows I prefer using PowerShell. So now we'll create a y would be equal to rand. So this random declares random function. So random function is been there in stdlib.h. So let us include stdlib.h. So now we have included stdlib.h. Now we want to give random functions. The random function only gives a random number once. So if we'll pass parameter as time, it will give us random numbers, random numbers at different times. So that for that I'll also include time dot. I'll now save it. So now first let us set the seed for this rand function. To set the seed for the rand function, we use srand, then we put a time here, and then in capital letters we write null. So I'm terminating our line using this semicolon. As you can see here, in every line I have provided a semicolon. So srand time null is now declared. So now we'll make an infinity for loop, and I'll declare an integer I here. So I, and we'll remove this I less than count. So now it will go on forever. So but don't worry, this program will not last forever. We'll provide a break statement. So now we'll first of all ask the user, not first of all, in the last we'll ask the user, but we'll first do it. We'll first add the last statement. So printf, do you want to exit? So now we'll provide a bracket here. So y slash capital Y, and we'll write that or any key to continue. Now, and we'll also declare a char here, character type variable, not an array. So char exit. So now we'll take the input from the user as using the scanf function, scanf %c comma and exit. So now we'll provide an if statement. So if this exit statement, exit variable, if it equals y, and I'll copy this, and let us copy this first, and it equals capital Y, then our program would break. Now we'll provide an else here. So else continue. So now what this will basically do is, if you want to terminate, do you want to exit? I'm sorry, I by mistakenly put dp. So if we write y, then it would end this for loop and come onto the main function. So if uh, let us run our program, let us check it how it is working. So let us run it, enter user's choice 2. So now do you want to run? No, I'll enter any key. If so, as I provided an else, so if it isn't equal to y, small y or capital Y, it would continue running this for loop until you press this y key. It would run this for infinite time. So I'll write here e. So see, it is working all right. And now I'll write here y. Oops, capital Y. What happened? Let us stop our program and check. Yeah, so I found out the problem. Instead of this and an operator, we have to put an or operator. Now it would work all right. I don't guarantee. Let us still check it. 95% it would work right. So now 2 again. So now I'll write y. Yeah, it's working all right. So it's working all right. Now this get user input function will just cut it from here and paste it in this. So now it would ask us this get user input infinite times, not infinite times until this function comes true. Now we'll assign a value to y. So what will first declare int y. So now what y is the computer's value. We'll use it randomly using this rand function. So y equals, so if, in order to use rand function, creating random numbers specifically, so we'll first provide a bracket here and we'll write rand inside it, then again a bracket. So this just specifies that rand is a function, or else it would think it is a keyword. So now we'll write it %3 because we want 1 2 3. It should be from 1 to 3 itself, and plus 1. Now this would generate random numbers under number 3. So now I think this would work all right. Now in order to print this computer random function, in order to check, so I'll just print it, printf percent, not percentage, %d \n y. Now let us run our program. So enter user's choice. So I'll enter 2 1. See, it is working all right. It wrote us here 1 because it produced a random number from 3 numbers. So now I write y. So it is working perfectly fine. So now we don't need to use this printer. It was just for our testing. So now in order to put what computer chose, we'll use an if statement. So if y would be equal to 1, it would just print rock. As we declared in here, 1 equals rock, 2 equals paper, 3 equals scissors. So we'll just write that function for y using random for and using if statement. So else if you want a tutorial on Visual Studio Code, you can just like my video. I might upload it some other day. So else if y equals 2, then it will just print paper. I'm sorry, paper. So now else, there's no condition left now. So else it will obviously print So else it would print it chose scissors. So if this random function generates number 1, then it would tell us it chose rock, then or else it would tell us it chose paper, else it would choose scissors. If this both condition comes to false, that means it is false, then else would run. So whatever is in else, if these two conditions are not true, then that would run. So now until now we have wrote 75 lines. Let us run our program. So enter user's choice 3. See, computer chose rock, that means 1. I want to continue. I want to exit. So now I'll now create a function. Now we'll develop this function who won. So I'll just copy this and paste it in here. I'll remove this semicolon and int p1 p2. So now what this function will do is player 1's number rock paper scissors or player 2. So int output. So now if player 1 will write 1, so it would resemble rock. So I'll write an if here. If, so we all know the conditions of tic-tac-toe. In here I have already created it. I'll copy it and paste it just. So if P1 would be equal to rock and P2 equal to paper, then output would be equal to P2 win, means player 2 would win. And if P1 would be equal to paper and P2 equal to scissor, then of course the output will also be P2 win. So if P1 equals scissor and P2 equal rock, then the output again would be P2 win. So these three conditions were for P2 win. Now we come to P1. So if P1 equal paper and P2 equals rock, we just swap this and print it here. So you might understand it. If all of these conditions are false, then the output would come to draw. So now, as I said, we need to return something in function. So return output. Command S. Control or command S, anything is okay. So now in here, I'll make use of this function. Its name is who won. So I'll declare a new integer in Z. So Z equals, I'm adding it Z because my name is Z and I like to be headmasters. So Z equals who won, so x comma y. So now in order to print who won, we'll again write a if statement. So if z equals p1 win, it would just print p1 is the this one. Let us check who's p1. So p1 means the user. So user won this round. So now we'll put an else here. Else if z equals p2 win, I'm sorry, p2 win. So instead of this p1 win, p2 win, we can even write 4, 5, 6. So if it equal to p2 win, then it would just print, instead of user, it would print computer won this round. Now if these all condition comes to true, I mean false, So then it will of course print draw. So now we'll create a new variable here, int user score, and we'll give it default value as 0, and here we'll put int machine score. So if player 1 means user would win, then our user score would be equal to, would be incremented by 1. So I'll just write here user score plus plus. If you don't know about incrementation, I'll explain you in some video. If I get good response on this video, I'll make more videos like this. So I'll just paste it. Yeah, so now we have made a user score and machine score. So if this condition would equal to, it would come true, then it would come again in this main function. So we'll print a report in a pretty format that who won the series, not one. We'll just tell the user score and the computer score. So first it would print these lines. Now you'd think, why am I doing this? So you'll just see it. I write /t, that means it will leave a tab space behind this. So /t %d \n comma user score. So I'll write here user score equals %d and user score. I copy this and just paste it. So now I'll, instead of user score, we'll just print machine score, and I'll write here computer score, and I'll just finish up my pretty format now. Now as you can see, it 100% will look pretty. So now let us run our program to check it is working all right or not. It is giving us an error again. So yeah, I forgot to put this double equal to here. That's why it gave us an error. Now let us again run our program. It is giving us everything right. Now let us enter first an inaccurate value. So 4. So improper value, again input user's choice. It is working all right. So 1. So it is a draw. Computer also chose rock. I also chose rock. So now I don't want to continue. So I'll just press any key R. So now this time I'll choose scissor. So 3. So computer also chose scissor. Again a draw. I need to win. I'm not good at this, but still I'll try to win. So press any key to enter D. So now I write 2. So computer won this round. I'm really not good at this. Let us terminate this using Y. I'll just write Y and press enter. So now, whoops, it is not printing this report thing. Yeah, because we have to print this thing in this main function, because it is, after writing this, it is breaking. So now we got another chance to win against the computer. All thanks to my fortune. So let us again put a command K. Command K means clear. It would just clear the terminal. Let us run our code again. So enter user's choice. So first I'll enter 10 in an inaccurate one. No, this time I'll write less than 1. So I'll write 0. So improper input. Now I'll enter user's choice, so it will be 2. So I first time won this round. So let us press R. Any key is okay, it's upon you. So now I'll write here 3. It is a draw. Now I want to continue, so I'll win. So yeah, slash T is not working. Yeah, it should be backslash T. I'm very sorry. Okay, no problem. So user score is equal to 1 means I won the series. Let us run our program now to terminal. So now as we create let us open terminal. If you are on Windows, the commands I am using would be working on Windows PowerShell, not on command prompt. So first I'll write here pwd means present working directory. It will tell us on which directory we are presently working on. So I'm working on users Zaid Ajani. So now I'll just press a cd dot dot because we created this tutorial for YT folder under his users directory. So cd dot dot will just decrease our directory. This whole terminal has been created in C. So means we should learn C. So now let us put ls. So see, we get to see users. Ls just means list out. So as we change our directory and put ls, we get to see this tutorials already. Again, we'll change the directory as tutorials underscore fun underscore yt. So now we have entered tutorials for yt. So now I'll just put ls. Now we name the program as rcp.c. So in order to run our program, we just put gcc. Gcc is the full form of GCC is GNU's compiler collection. One of those is our C compile. So gcc rcp.c. Then you should press enter. Then if you just now do ls, so it will get to see a new file as a.out. In Windows machine we will get to see as a.exe. So now we'll let ./a.out. Even exe is okay. So if you have a Windows machine, then you should write ./a.exe. Then we'll just press enter. So see, it is working all right. So rock paper scissors 3. So now it is a draw. I don't want to continue. I mean I want to continue, so I'll just press R. So now I write 2. So it is again a draw. Now I don't want to continue. So now no one got any points this time. So I'm again propagating my channel. Hope you enjoyed my video. Please like my video, share my video, as all YouTubers do say to you. They just waste your time. Even me, I am also wasting your time. So take care. Happy learning, happy journey, whatever. Bye bye.